Alrighty, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Daily Roundup webinar. Man, can you guys see me? I guess you guys can see me. Can you? Can't you? Can you? You can. You can. You can't. All right. All right, good. You guys can see me. Ever since I cut my hair, I feel so excited that I get to, share with you guys my new youth look. Look, I'm 2 years away from being 50 years old, and people say I look like I'm in my 30s. Isn't that great? You guys see my shirt? Yeah, it's not my company. It's not ForexAnalytix. Amanda said I look 12 years old. Come on now. That's rough. Really? Anyway, no, I actually just wanted to, I was on a call a little bit earlier with somebody who was with Forex Lab, and I was just chatting with them and kind of getting caught up and talking about Trader Summit. And anyway, Catherine says my hair is super cool. Thank you very much. Just a month ago was super long. Like my bangs, I could stick in my mouth. I looked very John Wickish, but no more. I couldn't do it. I can deal with it anymore. Anyway, enough about my hair. Let's talk about the markets. So obviously we have the FOMC coming up in the next hour and a half, and that's going to be potentially a market mover. I think the risks are right now that we discuss, with the Fed actually discuss possible. Well, it depends how they approach the market. If the Fed sounds relatively optimistic, I don't know if that's the right word. I guess it is the right word. If they sound relatively upbeat, that's going to start to stir the pot for speculation that we might be closer to tapering, even if they decide not to talk about anything about purchases and a decrease in asset purchases. But even the tone that he takes. Now, if you're going into this expecting that, that's a hard thing to do. But also taking into consideration what and how the ECB sounded last week, thinking about where we're at as far as equities, I still think unemployment claims and the U.S. employment picture is not pretty. And that's one thing that really has me hesitating, even thinking that Powell might be a little bit more or less, less dovish. I think he's still going to be pretty dovish, but the risk is that he's not. And because what we've already got right now, and let me get over to the charts really quick. If you guys notice, I'm not looking right in the camera. I've got, 8 screens here. So I've got but the camera's here. So I got to look over here. So when you're looking at the S&P, we've kind of already started down that road of being, of turning from channel resistance. And so the problem is if he does sound any type of hawkish whatsoever, we have this double top that plays out to 37.30. Now, let's take a look at this chart just to kind of see from the highs. A move like that is actually a 3% move off the highs. It's not the end of the world, but if you don't think that we can't get down there today, I think it's entirely possible. I mean, if you think about completing a double top today, we would be down 3% really from today's open. Now I know that sounds kind of aggressive, but based on where we're at, it's really not. And I think it's doable. So it's one of those things that technically what we see here is that is in play. But what we're seeing right now is we're seeing currencies kind of stall. We've got the Aussie dollar that's, at channel support here. okay, or near channel support, and obviously key support. This to me, as you guys know, and oops, I didn't want to do that, but I'll do it anyway. I'll move it. Put that back. Okay. As you can see from here, let me grab the trend line here. Okay, this trend line, dang it, I keep missing the trend line. Nope. Cancel that. This one, this blue trend line right here. As you can see, that blue trend line, I mean, that comes in right now at 35 roughly, at 76.35, which is about 50 pips away from where we're at, 45, 50 pips. That is the support that if we break through that support, you have to go in with the assumption that stocks are breaking down. Because that's what's going to signal it to me. And if you trade equities, like I know a lot of you guys do, you're trading, S&Ps, or you're trading, NASDAQ futures, whatever you're trading. Just if the Aussie starts breaking through that support, you have to realize that there's going to be, that's my confirmation that everything's kind of moving. We'll probably see the dollar Canadian make a move for the 129 level. Oh, I need to mention this. Citibank just bought, they closed out their Aussie shorts for a loss. I'm sorry, their Aussie longs for a loss. They also, they closed it out at like 85, like right where we're at. They bought a 1 month dollar Canadian call for 130. Okay. So, if you're looking at the dollar Canadian, that means that we're going to be doing this. Right. So, and I don't think that's uncalled for, especially if the Fed rocks the boat a little bit today. Oh, thanks, Paul. Paul said Control plus Z in TradingView will revert the change you made if you mistakenly dragged a line. You learn something new every day. I learn like 1,000 things a day because I don't know much. And so it's something that not like super uncommon for me. But anyway, going back to, and thank you, Paul, for that. Going back to what I was saying, though, I think these are the things that I'll be looking at today to see, if we're going to see any continuation. Think about the dollar Mexican peso. We rallied right to resistance. Look at how key this resistance is right here. That's critical, right? We start breaking through new highs and we will be challenging 242. Well, we'll go to probably 270, 280, maybe even above that. Maybe we'll break through that resistance. So I'm, obviously I'm sitting here trying not to establish new positions. As tempted as I am to just get short aggressively the Aussie dollar at current levels, I'm not going to do that. I want to be short Aussies, and I'm short Aussies through, I'm long the Euro Aussie, I'm long pound Aussie. So I'm long those crosses, and I'm long like pound New Zealand, Euro New Zealand, and they all look good. They all look constructive. You look at like the Euro Aussie, we break through 158, and this is where you got to pick your battles. You got to for me, it's like, am I going to buy, or am I going to buy dollars and short, the Aussie, or am I just going to buy more Euro Aussie? Those are the decisions I'm kind of faced with at this moment. But yeah, you see the Euro Aussie, big resistance there. Euro New Zealand hit new lows intraday and then reverse to highs. So obviously if we break to new highs from here and we start breaking above 169, that's super bullish, because that's a big bullish engulfing candle, especially, well, actually we'd have to break yesterday's highs, which would be 69.12. So we've got another 60 pips to do that. But still, an outside day would be huge. Especially after hitting new lows. Pound Aussie. You guys know I'm pretty aggressively long this. The reason why is because of this longer term. This is multiple years. You can see big support at 174. So when it was down at 176, I was buying a lot of it. I'm only up 200 pips. I know you go, oh, it's 200 pips, but this is a currency pair that could go from up 200 to up 1,200. Some of you guys have been with me long enough to know when I've made 1,000, 1,200 pips in currencies like this. And I think that that is doable at this moment. Not saying that it will happen. It's the potential is there, especially if the Fed is a little bit more hawkish than we expect. Not saying that that's going to happen. Obviously, it's they're probably going to be dovish. It's Powell, for crying out loud. And then the pound New Zealand. So the pound New Zealand, we're above this multi-month trend line. We're trying to build a bull flag formation, but you can see, this is, the risk is we're going to, start breaking out higher, and above 192 is extremely bullish. We should get back to the 200-day moving average. So those are the things that I'm looking at following the FOMC. So just to recap really quick, some of the key levels to watch: Aussie dollar at 76.30, dollar Canadian 128. I think those are the big ones that we need to watch. I would think that euro downside is probably limited to, obviously the euro could drop. We could go to 121, but I think it's limited to maybe like 120.50, and maybe if things get a little out of control, down to 120. But I'll be buying down there, for a bounce. So anyway, good luck today. I hope to see you all in the chat room, and I want to thank everybody for being here, and thanking you for all of your support. I appreciate you guys. Have a great one.